mean, people were calling for our jobs. I think we saw a tweet saying that we all need to like tie cement to our feet and like be drowned in the Schuylkill. Like there was some crazy tweets and we were all just sitting there like, this is insane. Like this is truly insane. In 2018, the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. And as part of that celebration, when the team came back into Philadelphia, all of the other teams had their mascots waiting to welcome the team in, and we were noticeably absent. And there had been a couple moments over the years where we noticed that absence of our brand, and this was sort of like that last push that was like, all right, we should be taking advantage of this opportunity, and we're not. Our first step was to reach out to a number of artists to start mocking up renderings.
My job as a concept artist is to basically just throw out as much information as possible, as quickly as possible, so that we can see like what works and what doesn't work. So over the course of a couple days, I sat down and drew 25 different, very different takes on Gritty. Some of them were monsters, some of them were animals, some of them were people. Some of the ones that I remember, there was like a flying squirrel at one point. There was a bat. There was like a pilot, and there were like tough guys. And then there were monsters of all kinds of shapes and sizes.
And we actually ended up going with what at the time was Monster D, but is now Gritty.
So then we took that sketch and just kind of piled iteration upon iteration on that. But even in that early stage, Gritty had little wings at one point, and he had teeth. So part of my job was figuring out what do his wings look like, what do his teeth look like. I think we went through like 4 different kinds of wings until we realized what a dumb idea that was, and then we cut the wings off.
We kind of got to a place where we felt good, presented it internally, got the approvals, and that's when we actually started working with a company called Character Translations to make the actual costume. And then once we finally had our costume, it all happened very quickly. We did it over the off season in 2018. And then we went to launch Gritty on September 24th, 2018. We had an event at the Please Touch Museum. I think 600 kids were there, and that's where Gritty had his grand debut.
Everybody loved him. All the kids loved him, and it was just a fantastic reception. But when they released those initial photos where Gritty was looking a little dark, there was like just a snap backlash.
I'm seeing like the LA Times are tweeting about us, and all of these publications that really don't cover Flyers hockey at all within a matter of minutes. It's like really picking up steam.
I tried to stay calm. I tried to stay off Twitter. My wife took my phone away from me, but some people were actually like getting a little mean. Like they would message me directly and say like, one woman said, "You should be fired for creating this ungodly demon for our city," or something like that.
During that phase and time, our rivals, the Penguins, tweeted the LOLOK at us. Lauren Robbins, who was our digital media coordinator at the time, was like, "We need to respond. Like this is our chance." That's when we put out the "Sleep with One Eye Open Tonight" bird tweet, which was our first true opportunity to showcase Gritty's personality, the biting, playful, defensive edge that, is his brand. And the way that it's always told back to me when, I'm talking with people about it who are local or not local in market, it's always like Philadelphia was very anti-Gritty. Then nationally, the world was anti-Gritty. Gritty puts out this defensive tweet. Philadelphia is now defending Gritty against the national tide. So I think that first showing of like, this is who we plan to be. Gritty has a voice and Gritty's going to use it. I think that was that first initial, like, this is such an absurd thing, but it's my absurd thing, so I'm in. So I really do see that as where the tide turned. But I do also see the slip on the ice and the Kim Kardashian tweet as what kind of cemented nationally the tide had turned. And we got a call from Good Morning America that night to have him on the show in the morning. The performer actually just slept right at the Wells Fargo Center all night because they'd be up so early the next day. And they sent a crew overnight, and he was on in the morning. And then the whole following day, he did media all day long. So it was kind of a blurry first couple of days. And really the whole week was like that too. We flew him up to Fallon. We actually helicoptered him so that he could be there for the game that night, because it was, critical to us that we showcased he's our mascot for our team in Philadelphia. He cannot miss a game because he's up in New York doing Fallon. Like, that just immediately loses all brand credibility that we're trying to build here of him being the ultimate Flyers fan. So it really was just building the plane as we flew it.
They did such an excellent job at creating a personality for Gritty on the fly. And it wasn't long after that I was just getting tons of people sending me fan art of Gritty, sending me tattoos that they were getting. He's almost like the mascot for Philadelphia, not just the Flyers. And that's just it. I would never in my wildest dreams have hoped for that. That would be just, you'd be crazy to think that it could go that far.
When you put something out into the world, and it's something that we had talked about as a group that morning, you have to go all in. You can't do something halfway, because people feel that and pick up on that, and then suddenly you lose the control of the situation. So if you're going to do something, and if you're going to take a 50-year-old brand and splash Gritty into the middle of it, who's not subtle in any sort of way, you can't just halfway do it and then pull him back 2 weeks later and be like, oh, we made a mistake, this was too much. You have to really lean in all the way. So I think we all had that mindset of good or bad, this is it, we're doing it. And I think that truly that mindset and that attitude towards it was what helped us navigate some troubled waters. Because otherwise, we would have folded it up, and that would have been that. And it would have just been this terrible thing that went wrong. And then, the world wouldn't have gotten to laugh the way they have the past couple of years.